Hello everybody and welcome to Red's Outdoors. Today we're going to do a little bit of a comparison between two different handguns. Both of them have quite a bit of history to them. One of them was actually used by the military, the other one is widely used by the police. Today we're going to do a comparison on the Beretta 92 FS and the Glock 19 Gen 3. I know they're up to, I believe, a Gen 5 now, but the one that we have here is a Gen 3, so we're going to use that one. And some of the things you'll notice on both of these. Alright, one thing to notice with both of these, they both come with their own case. If you want to get a better one, by all means do so. But at least with these, they don't come in a cardboard box. They both come in their own case. Both of them, another similarity, they both come with two 15-round magazines. Both of them are 9mm, and that's pretty much where the comparisons on these two stop. Alright, with the Glock 19, it is, well, let me show you everybody that yes, they are unloaded and safe. Same thing with the Beretta. Nothing in it, no mag, clean through. Okay, so in comparing these two, you can see there is quite a bit of difference in length, a little bit of a difference in width, not much. I'll do it this way so you guys can see it a little bit better on the width of them and then the length. Now, most people, I don't know about most, I think a lot more people are probably more familiar with the Glock 19. I'm not real familiar with these guns. The only one I have is a Glock 20. But nonetheless, on this one, I mean, they come apart pretty much the same. Magazine is out, gun is empty. Of course, you have your captured spring. There's the barrel. And I kind of want to show a little bit on this too. Now this is the Beretta. It is definitely a little bit different. Bring it back, lock it. Has a little button on the side to push in so you can turn this tab around like so. Then you can unlock it and pull that slide off. Now, one thing to notice on these, this is not a captured spring assembly. When you pull that out, well, you'll watch, it'll shoot just like that. And it just bounced right over here. That's actually the first time I've launched it, but this is not a captured spring assembly. It is loose, so if you get these, watch out and don't do what I just did. The barrel itself, look at the difference in length. The Beretta, the Glock, there is a little bit of difference in length here. So I'm curious. Is that difference in length going to make a whole lot of difference at the range? I don't know. I mean, I've shot this Glock less than 10 times. Not a whole lot more on the Beretta, so I'm not really proficient with either one of these by any means. So it kind of makes the accuracy a good comparison between the two because I don't really have experience with either one of these. Now, if I was going to compare either one of these to one of the ones that I've had a while, you'll see in a minute the video. If you notice the imprint, I am carrying my Ruger SR9. You can see the imprint of it. I've got a lot more experience with that gun, and I guarantee you my accuracy with that gun is going to be better than either one of these, hands down, just because I have so much more experience with it. So both of these, having virtually no experience with them, I'm curious which one I'm actually going to shoot better with. And I guess in reality it really doesn't matter because the Glock isn't mine, it's my wife's, so even if I do shoot good with it, I can't have it anyways. But I'm just curious. I mean, Glocks are very well-known firearm. To a lot of people, Berettas are, but you know, since I got that one, I've met people that really aren't that familiar with the Beretta. So I'm curious, you know, how good is he going to do? I've never owned one before. And of course, reassembly. It's just that easy. And the reassembly on these is pretty much about the same, you know, with little exception with the lock on the side. I mean, you just got to make sure you get everything lined up. Obviously, your spring is not captured, so that is a little bit different. But you do got to make sure when you're pushing that in, you keep that lined up so it doesn't just hit the edge of the spring. So yeah, that is a little bit different. Now my barrel is trying to come out, trying to slip out of the way. So once you get that in, then you just slide this over it anyways. And I got to put this one back, lock it, turn this tab back up, then should be ready to go. Check it. Okay. Now, another huge difference on this one versus a lot of 9mm handguns is, one, it's got an external hammer. I have a Llama 1911, and with that one it is a single action, so if the hammer is down it won't fire. With a Beretta it's double action, it will fire. Now that is kind of a heavy trigger pull that way. The hammer back, pretty light. I'm going to say it might be a little bit lighter than the Glock, to be honest with you. Now one thing I did think was kind of cool with this, so put a magazine in it, you chamber around. If you don't really want to carry it with the hammer back, you can. I mean, it does have a safety on both sides if you want to use it. But here's what happens when you put the safety on. It has a block on it. So when you do that, it'll decock it when you put it on safety. It's not going to fire the round. It blocks it from doing that. And then you just put it back on fire, and now you're chambered on fire. Now your first shot's going to be kind of tough because now you're in double action with that trigger. I thought that was kind of neat with it for this style of gun. I've seen some good reviews on this firearm. I saw one on this firearm that was absolute crap. They were saying a lot of bad things, saying that it jams all the time, but you could see where, you know, they actually never showed the gun fire and it would jam. They'd fire the gun, it would cut to a round being stuck in it. That one was complete BS, or it wouldn't have had so many cut scenes in it, and everybody else would have had the same issue. Also, if that was the case with these, the military would not have used these for many years. This is actually what replaced the 1911. But I'm going to let you guys see the range footage of it. It's actually pretty short. We went out there and they have like 2 separate range rooms set up. And I told them, I said, hey, we're going to be filming out here. Can we get a room that's not, you know, kind of away from everybody, or get a stall that's a little away from everybody? And he's like, well, yeah, we'll put you down on this end. So we walked down there and that thing's like completely full. You know, and one person left, so I asked I asked them if I could move over, you know, kind of in that, so I didn't have somebody directly on either side of me. You know, there's guys down there shooting AR pistols, AR rifles, but yet the room next to me had one person in there. Why they couldn't put me over there, I don't know. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time for all the gunfire you're going to hear. In editing on that, I'm going to lower the volume quite a bit when I'm not talking, so that way it kind of muffles the gunshots a little bit, because there's quite a lot of them. Alright, so now let's go to the range and see what I did with both of these. Alright, so we are out on the range, so we're going to be getting a lot of gunfire. The first one we're going to try out, by the way this one is, completely safe. We're going to try the Beretta 92 FS, 10 shots with this one, and then 10 shots with the 19. We'll see which one I can do better with. Now we're going to do the one on the right with the Glock 19. See what that one does. Alright, so here it is. I don't know how good you can see it on this. Hold it up a little bit. So this one was with the Beretta, and not the best grouping. You can definitely tell I need some practice with both of these. And this one was with the Glock. So without being, I guess, really versed very well in either one of these, which one do you think is the most accurate for somebody who's not used to shooting either one of them? Neither one of them have that great of a group. To be honest with you, I wasn't impressed with either one of those, considering that I've gone out to the range and literally removed the bullseye out of targets at 10 yards. So, which is what we were shooting at, was 10 yards. I think I had a little better grouping with the Beretta, but I also had more kind of flyers, and obviously that's me. Obviously all of this is me. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm the one shooting the gun. But I don't know how much of this had to do with the ammo we were using. I mean, we were using a box of ammo they had out there at the range, just so I didn't blow through all mine. And the only time you're able to buy ammo from them is if you're paying for range time or buying a firearm from them. So I mean, it was cheap ammo. I don't know how much of that had to do with this, you know, at a 10-yard range. Definitely going to try it with different ammo at some point and see if it likes, you know, some brands better than others. They were 115 grain full metal jackets, but you know, all in all, I like both of these, to be honest with you. I mean, they both have their place. I like the Beretta. I think it's kind of cool. The Glock is a little more simplified. So, and the Glock's also a little bit smaller, so for concealed carry purpose, obviously the Glock would win. I think, and even from the videos I've seen, and you know, maybe from my experience with this, I may end up being a lot more accurate with the Beretta. And if the hammer is already back, if you're not shooting the first double action shot on the front, you know, the very first shot, that one I can see being off. That's something I would need some practice on to get up, you know, to be able to be accurate with that one. But after that, when that hammer's already back, that's a pretty light trigger. I like it at that point better than the Glock. I like the sights on the Beretta better than the Glock. And I think a lot of people have an issue with the sights on the Glock. That's why there's so many aftermarket sights you can get for these things. And that's one huge advantage Glock has over the Beretta, is you can get aftermarket parts. Pretty much any part of the gun you want, pretty much anywhere that sells gun parts is going to have Glock parts. You can go on the internet and do a search for barrels, sights, you know, springs, all kinds of things on there. The striker slide assembly, all that stuff. You can find all that online, and I haven't looked for it for the Beretta, but I would imagine it's not nearly as available as the Glock. Now, the sights you're not going to be able to do on the Beretta because they are fixed sights, so that's one thing to look at too. They are fixed. They're attached to the slide. You're not changing those. And just the Glock, the ones that the factory sights it comes with, are fixed, but they're not part of the slide, so you can change those out. I mean, you can put tritium sights on it, you can put, now my mind goes blank, fiber optics on it, rear adjustables. There's a lot of different things you can do with the Glock. So for versatility, I think the Glock has definitely got that one made. For all around performance though, I think the Beretta may have it. Let me know in the comments what you think, and thank you guys for watching.